I just finished Change of Heart by Clare Lydon. This is a Sapphic contemporary romance novel, and it's very good. It starts off very like a standard fake romance. This woman named Erin is basically the last person in her family to not have a partner, so she hires a actress, a fake, to be her fake girlfriend, for her parents' wedding anniversary weekend party. So the two go on a trip to the Scottish Highlands for a few days, 5 days, and they fall in love. Believe it or not. This starts off very like stock standard, but very quickly I got very into it. I really like these characters. I think the writing's quite nice. I just got really invested really early on. I think this book has a lot of things working for it. I think one, simplicity. There's not a million characters. There's not a million side plots. There's just not a lot going on in the background. Like, you are really just focused on these two main characters. The only side plot is her parents and her family is still grieving the loss of her sister, and so they all sort of need to come together to get over that. There's emotional drama with grief. So apart from being mutually attracted to each other, Steph also helps her emotionally and helps her deal with this family problem. They immediately connect, both physically and emotionally, within a couple of days of knowing each other. They're a really good pairing. They're both 37, I believe, which is kind of nice to read about adults. It's sort of rare to read stories about a lot of characters over 30 in Sapphic fiction. I feel like I read a lot of teenagers and early 20 somethings, which is fine, but I do also like reading about older characters, which 37 isn't old, but like, it's older than you usually see, and these two did feel like adults. So one thing I liked about this book is that they can actually communicate. Two characters who can communicate with each other. What a concept. There's basically no miscommunication plot in this, which is nice. The only lack of communication that occurs at all is in the first couple of days, really like the first day, where they're mutually attracted to each other, but neither of them wants to say anything because it's a professional business relationship. So that makes sense, you know. There's a reason not to communicate there. You don't want to assume that the person acting like your fake girlfriend actually has a legitimate connection with you. And also you don't want to admit feelings for your employer on day one of knowing them, right? So that makes sense. But I also like that they act on their feelings pretty quickly. This could have been like a really slow, drawn out, slow burn, which could work, but this wasn't that, and I kind of liked that. When they first meet, they're very immediately physically attracted to each other. So you get like some tension, lead up spicy moments, foreplay to the spice. Can we call it that? Is that a phrase? And then it's only a couple days before they both kind of realize that they're sort of definitely into each other, and then they admit it and act on it. Definitely spice in this book. So if that's something you're looking for, this is a good book for that. It is well written as well. Several scenes of that. And again, I think the simplicity of the story really allows for all the focus to be on the relationship and on the characters. And that really allows you to get a good sense of these people and root for them and want them to be together and like their relationship and feel their chemistry. And it works well. I liked that. A lot of these books also get bogged down with like some random side character best friend who also has a side character love interest, and there's just stuff that you really don't care about going on there to like pad the runtime or just make it feel like a more fleshed out world, but this didn't need that. It's well written enough that you just don't need that. Clare Lydon just gives us what we care about, which is the central relationship, and I like that and I respect that. There are side characters. I mean, you see Erin's family. None of them get like a ton of screen time. Her parents get some, and her brother, which makes sense. Steph does have a friend who's like a co-worker colleague, And I guess he does have like a gay romance of his own, but it's like it's a very small part of this book, and it's not. You don't see a lot of that, and you don't need to see a lot of that. You get exactly what you need from that storyline, and it's not shoved in there and padded out for extra runtime. So this is a nice, simple, straightforward, well written, well structured, just classic, easygoing, happy ending, spicy, sapphic romance. Very straightforward, very good, very well done. Clare Lydon also has approximately 1 million books out, so I will be reading more of them. I don't think I've ever read anything else by her before. My library definitely has other books of hers that I will be reading, and I will definitely be requesting more. I was quite happy with this. I quite enjoyed this. I read it very quickly. It's not too short. I mentioned that it doesn't have that padded runtime, but it's not short at all. It's very, satisfying, good length of a novel. It's also not too long. Some books are too long. This, I think the pacing is really well. It gets to the parts you want. It stays there. It doesn't draw anything out. It's a solid book. I went into this knowing the twist because I'm an idiot who clicked on a Goodreads review that was marked as spoilers, and then I got surprised when I got spoiled. So I knew like the twist. It's not really a twist. There's like a reveal that like ties everything together in like a really nice way. I liked the twist. It adds some drama, it adds some emotionality, it adds further connection between these characters in a way that I've never seen before in a book. Maybe it's been written about in other books, but it's like kind of a niche topic. But it also makes the title really make sense. So it's a really good twist that suits this book. But I actually liked it. I liked knowing it going into the book because I caught on to like all the little things that like sort of like reference it or like were clearly tied into the thematics of that. And I don't know if I want to say the spoiler. Because I don't want to spoil it for you. It's not like a spoiler where it's like, I mean, I guess it's kind of a twist, but it's not like, I mean, this is a romance. You know how it's going to go. You know they're going to get a happy ending. You know there's going to be a third act breakup that's, I didn't love the third act breakup in this. But it like kind of made sense, but it kind of didn't. Do I have to mention the spoiler? I'll say spoiler. If you've read the book or you don't think you'll read the book, you should read the book. It's a good book. But the spoiler is that we know right away that Steph had a heart transplant when she was younger, a teenager. And we know that Erin lost her sister when she was a teenager. And it turns out her sister was Steph's heart donor. So Steph literally has Erin's twin sister's heart in her chest. So like change of heart. That's nice. And also they're like literally connected. I don't know if they were identical twins. I think they might have been. Because she talks about how she feels like her parents are reminded of their dead child every time they look at her. So they probably have the same face. So they're probably identical. So that's sort of romantic where Steph like literally has Erin's heart in a way. But they don't see it that way immediately. Erin sees it as like, you're kind of my sister in a weird way. Or like, my sister is in this relationship with us. Or like, when I made your heart race, I was making my sister's heart race. That's kind of weird. The review I saw was a 1-star review that was like, no, Erin, that isn't incest. Which it's not incest, but it's sort of weird for her. I guess that would be weird. I've never been in that situation. I don't think anyone's been in this situation before. But I suppose it would be kind of weird to know someone who had your loved one's organs and that sort of throws them out of whack and is like, I'm not ready to deal with that. I'm still dealing with the loss of my sister. That makes it more raw to see you and to know that you're only alive because she's dead. That's kind of a lot emotionally vexing. Um, but they work through it. Give them some time. They come to terms with it. Nadia would want them to be happy. The dead sister would want them to be happy. She'd want her heart to be put to good use. She'd want her heart to go to loving her sister. Um, it works out. It's a romance. They get together and live happily ever after. Yeah, I really like this book. The only other thing I can think to mention is just the small little detail that was like weird to me. Candy floss gets brought up in this book so much, and apparently it was the dead sister's favorite food. She loved cotton candy, candy floss. And like this is like the one thing that Erin really associates with her sister and is like gets mentioned like repeatedly. It's a symbol for her sister. It's symbolism. That comes up a lot. But she was 17 when she died. Like remembering someone for liking candy is something that happens when your sister dies at like 7 years old, not 17. Like they act like candy floss was her favorite food in the entire world, and she ate it constantly, and that was such a part of her personality. I'm like, there's no way. Cotton candy is something you eat at like the fair, like a few times a year when you have it. It's not just readily available constantly all the time. I mean, you can buy it in the store, but like that's not the spirit of cotton candy. I don't know. That was a weird symbol to have. And it just comes up so much, like this little thing. But it like worked. I mean, I guess this is such a tiny nitpick. Completely insignificant. Did not ruin the experience of the book at all, but once you notice how many times they say candy floss, you can't unnotice it. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this book. I really like this book. Really simple, well done, contemporary romance. If you're looking just a good, easy read, easy romance, you know it's gonna have a happy ending, straightforward, simple, just good classic romance. This is the book for you. Good book. Nothing else to say. Just a nice good romance. I think I gave this like 5 stars. Maybe it's like a 4.5 because it wasn't like complete knock out of the park, exceptional, never been seen before, crazy, impressive. But yeah, it's a pretty easy 5-star, like 4.75 something if I want to be picky. Good book, good romance.